Guys, welcome back to another fitting video with Max from Titleist. Max, I think this is our 4th video together. In our last video, Max fit me for irons and we stopped at the 5 iron. If you want to see that video, I will put a link in the description of this video. We got to find a gapping, I think, from my 5 iron up to my driver. Yeah. So give me a little rundown of what we're doing today.
Yeah, so we're going to look back at that 5 iron. It's a colder day today, so we're going to see some different speeds. Realistically, just going to see a little bit slower speeds today versus what we saw the other day when it was a little warmer. So we'll start with the 5 iron, see where we're at for speed there, jump up into your driver, see some speed there, and we'll take a look at your trusty hybrid that's your go-to.
I do have a trusty hybrid. So I'm playing an old 915 Titleist 2 Hybrid. It is by far my most favorite club in the bag. I'm automatic with it. I'm interested to see if the new technology will beat out my current club because, like I said, I love it.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll look to see if we can improve on that with some tech or if confidence and trust will prevail. So we'll take a look there and then we'll gap down and make sure everything is gapped evenly between your driver and that 5 iron so we don't create any unnecessary gaps in your bag.
Cool, let's start hitting some clubs. Okay, Max, the fitting that we're about to do is pretty well available to anyone in North America, is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you can sign up on Titleist.ca for club fittings.
Cool, so any of you guys watching this, you can have this exact same fitting experience that I'm having. Today we're at the Glencoe Golf and Country Club. We filmed a couple videos here, by far the nicest golf facility, I think, in Calgary. They have, how many holes do they have? 45 holes?
Yeah.
45 holes. Beside us is a private 3-hole chipping range, an island putting green, a huge flat driving range. Like I'm a kid in a candy shop. Let's back to our fitting. We're starting with 5 iron. This is the T100. This is what you fit me into in our last video.
Yeah.
So you want to see how I'm hitting this, and then we'll kind of build on top of that.
Yeah, so we'll take a look here. We're expecting to see just a little bit more ball speed out of yours that's coming in. It's going to be that 1/4 inch longer, so we should see just a little bit more speed there, but it should be pretty minor.
Okay, let's hit some balls.
All right.
Can I just stop there? I don't think it's going to get better than that today.
Yeah, it's a pretty good start there, Brian.
Thanks, Max. Okay, let's replicate that. If I can do that every time with a 5 iron, I might have to join the PGA Tour. We'll let everyone know too, we are using a TrackMan to get all of our data. The balls we're using, because this is a Titleist video, we won't mention the name of these balls. I wish we were hitting Pro V1s, but for this video, on the driving range, they don't have Pro Vs. Little tuggy.
Little tuggy. Hit relatively solid though.
All of those, yeah, I was happy with all those.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So we got that data there. Let's jump into driver, see a couple with the driver, or if you'd prefer, we could do the hybrid first.
Let's go hybrid then driver.
Hybrid then driver.
That's typically how I do my session.
Yeah, you got it. So let's see your trusty hybrid there.
Okay, so this is my old trusty. This is my 2 hybrid. I hit this off the tee probably more than my driver. I can control it, work it both ways. Feels good, sounds good. If you can replace this, you will make me a believer in the new technology. Okay. Because it's just so good that it would like hurt my soul, I think, to leave it. But if I could get better numbers out of a new club, obviously that'd be a no-brainer.
If we can create the same trust in something that's going to be easier to perform.
Yeah, I like it.
Nice one there.
Okay, I've kind of sprayed it on my target. Good contact.
Good contact.
I think it's getting nervous under pressure.
Yeah, I've got a pretty intimidating presence. I really make you feel the pressure, hey?
Yeah, exactly. That last one was money.
That last one was awesome.
It doesn't get better than that one, I don't think.
Okay. Now for your usual, is this one gonna fall a little to the left or a little to the right on a normal day?
Yeah, typically like a little cut. That last one was exaggerated. Okay. But yeah, typically a cut. But I like this club because if I need a draw,
it's easy to
I can turn it over almost on command. So that's why I really like this, is the workability. And it's not as intimidating, I don't think, as like a 3-wood. There's a lot of guys I know that play a 3-wood. To me, it just looks intimidating. That I'll top it or maybe scoop under it, where I just have a lot more confidence hitting a hybrid because it looks more like an iron.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll see one more good one here.
Yeah, I've had a couple leaky ones. See, it doesn't want to perform after I talked it up so well.
That's it, pretty solid there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay. Let's see that driver of yours.
Driver. So the driver, you did fit me for a TSR3.
Yep.
This is the TaylorMade Stealth 2 Plus. I happen to be hitting this club just better. It's been a while since I revisited. I guess we'll have to, I just wanted to be upfront and
No,
frank.
you're good. You're good. Everybody makes good stuff. Really, we're just out here trying to help you play your best golf. So whatever's going to help you play your best golf, on board with. Hit it like that all day. Tough to complain with that driver.
I'm glad I didn't shank it. We'll let everyone know too, where we're filming in Calgary, Alberta, elevation is about 3,428 feet. So if the numbers look a little inflated to what you're used to, you sea level guys, just know that elevation takes into account, but it's cold today. So it's probably not flying as far as I could hit it in the middle of August kind of thing.
Okay. So that's a pretty consistent pattern there from the driver.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the numbers here.
Okay.
Starting with driver, we got 169 balls, or 168.7 ball speed within 0.2 for a variance. So really consistent on the ball speed there.
Okay.
Okay, then we got the hybrid. Last time we saw about 155 ball speed out of this hybrid, but today being a little bit colder, a couple extra layers, that ball speed's dropped down to 150.
Right.
Okay, so we had 151 on the good one, 149, and then into the 5-iron, 134, we're looking kind of 134, 135 on a solid strike there. So I'll probably gap based off of 169, 151, 135. First, we'll start with your hybrid, see if we can find something that produced better numbers in that one, maybe get that gap a little bit closer to that driver,
Okay.
then we'll gap down from there.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna start you with the new hybrid. Okay, we'll give you that there.
So this is a 3 hybrid.
It's an 18 degree.
Okay.
Is the
Is L
important-
minus 18 degree?
18 degrees.
Oh, okay.
So changes on the tech front this year with TSR2. It's a little bit longer blade length and a little bit deeper in the head. So a little bit more forgiving. And we've also taken a little bit of the channeling in here. And what that's doing is that's improving the turf interaction in the rough. So making it a little easier to catch out of those thicker, heavier lies.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is the TSR2.
That's the TSR2.
So does the hybrids have the same like TSR2, 3, 4?
We have TSR1, 2, and 3 in the hybrid.
1, 2, 3. Okay, I got you. So this says 3 hybrid, but it's an 18.
It's an 18
Mine
degree.
says 2 and it's 18 also. So the lofts are the same. They're just one's a 2, one's a 3.
Alrighty.
I love the sound of it.
Like the sound? Okay.
So I actually bought a TSI3 2 hybrid.
Yeah.
How many gens is that ago?
That was just the last one, the
Last
TSI.
gen.
Yeah.
This sounds way better than that.
Yes.
They were very like solid and muted. This feels a lot more similar to my 915.
Okay. Good.
Well, I do like looking at it. It looks very similar to my 915, maybe even almost a little bigger profile. And it sounds really good.
Okay.
I'm a big like feel sound guy. So after my first 2 or 3 hits, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could
get used
see,
to this.
I could see myself working with this for sure.
Okay. Dispersion's really good to start. It's doing the same thing over and over.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So what I'm seeing to start, dispersion compared to yours, with this being a little bit more forgiving now, we got much tighter dispersion.
Oh, really?
Okay, so we got our blue circle versus the purple circle. They're all going right up in there at the top and a little bit tighter. Yardage wise, we got 265 on average versus 254, but it's just because it's more consistent. It's not coming off with more speed yet. So I'm gonna still look to see if we can generate a little more speed for you.
Okay.
But so far, just out of the gate, that's looking like something that could be a trusty fairway finder for you.
I was not expecting that. Anyone that plays with me will tell you that my 2 hybrid is a weapon. There's guys that I hit my 2 hybrid further than their driver. It's no joke. I'll get one of them to admit it in the comments. The fact that that's already tighter makes me a believer in the new technology, and Max says he can get it even better. Just looking at the graph to see the dispersion in this circle versus this circle, it's like a no-brainer. I had reservations coming into the fitting because I had hit that TSI hybrid. It doesn't feel nearly as good as that one.
I'm gonna start here next. Gonna try that TSR3.
TSR3, so this is a smaller head.
This is the smaller head. So the TSR3 this year, we've refined the shape a little bit. It's more like that rounded sort of shape that we've seen in that Players Club before. We've also, same as the TSR2, we've worked on that sole to improve the turf interaction in the rough. And we've added a few more options for adjustability in the bottom. And a little less offset than the last model in the 3 version as well, compared to TSI.
And the hosel setting, you have me on D1.
I've got you on D1 here, yeah.
What's D1 mean?
So D1 is just lofted down 1 degree. This is 19 degree in the 3 Hybrid here as opposed to 18 in the TSR2. So I've just brought it back down to 18 as well.
When you add loft or de-loft, does it open or close the face?
So it opens the face a little bit as we loft it down, and it closes the face a little bit as we loft it up.
I understand, okay.
Yeah.
This looks already much more like my 915 that I'm used to. And it looks obviously similar to the TSI hybrid that I've hit before. But that 2, I really like that TSR2.
Really good there.
That was on a rope. So feel-wise, it definitely feels different than the TSR2. This feels a little bit more solid. The TSR2 felt like that tinier. I could hear the difference right away between the two, but it does feel good. I think it does feel better than the TSI previous model, in my opinion.
Okay. And what about preference on that solid feel versus the tinier feel for you?
You know what? I prefer the pingy, I don't want, it's just like the sound. It's hard to replicate the sound that I hear. But I think I prefer the sound of the TSR2.
Okay.
But that ball flight, like it's hard to not enjoy that ball flight.
Yeah, you could live with that, hey?
Yeah. I'll just wear headphones on the golf course if it really annoys me, but it's not bad. It's just that's the difference that I see between the two. The sound is not the difference I see. The sound is the difference I hear. Wake up.
Alrighty, so seeing a little bit more ball speed out of this one. Obviously, you just roasted a couple of those. But realistically, with what we're seeing for club speed out of this hybrid length, we're seeing that club speed right around 100 miles an hour, and your driver swinging at 114 today. So that gap in the club speed is just going to equate to a bigger ball speed gap. So we've got a pretty good idea what we're looking at here. I'm going to try a couple of fairway wood options to see if we can find something that would be comfortable for you. If we find something, great. If not, we can take a look at refining the hybrid a little bit more and see if we can make any more improvements than we're already seeing.
Cool.
Okay.
I noticed definite feel differences between the TSR2 and the TSR3. The TSR2 was that bigger profile, sounded tinier, but tinny's not bad. It's just the sound of like the ping, versus the TSR3 is a little more muted. It's like a thwack. So I can feel the differences, see the differences, but from a ball flight perspective, I was hitting them both very well. So I think this comes a little bit down to preference. And that's why I think Max is asking me kind of, what do I prefer looking at or feel-wise or sound. So I think Max will take what I like and just fine-tune that. Maybe we'll confirm with Max.
So I'm going to start, Brandon, in a 16.5 in the TSR3, hoping that if I loft this down a little bit, we'll be able to get a face that's a little easier to get onto the ball for him than a 3-wood he might have had in the past, but still create some launch, and so that's where we'll start.
Okay, where are we at now?
Okay, so I'm going to start you in a TSR3 4-wood or a 16.5.
Okay.
I've got it tweaked a little bit to see if we can make it a little easier to get on the ball for you from the feedback on what you've had in previous 3-woods. So I've made some adjustment here, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay. 4-wood. I like the sounds of 4-wood. Sounds less intimidating than a 3-wood.
I do a lot more 4-woods than 3-woods.
Really? Okay.
What do you feel to start here? Obviously you haven't hit a fairway wood in a while.
No, so the first one, I know I didn't catch it on the screws, but the ball flight looked good. Second one, I pulled it into the forest. And the third one, I had kind of like a lowish runner.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about 3-woods, but just like looking at them just doesn't give me a ton of confidence. I'll hit a couple more and see if I can get it better, but I don't know. What are your thoughts out of the gate?
There's a change I'd like to make here.
If
I'm gathering we're good to move on from this particular setup.
Yeah.
So let's try something different.
Okay, here's my thoughts on 3-woods. I might sound like an arrogant asshole, so feel free to feed it to me in the comments. My 2 hybrid, honest to God, off the tee is like 275. Again, we're at elevation, whatever. Sea level's like 250. I don't need much more in my game, especially on a par 4. Say it's a 400-yard par 4, I hit a 250 off the tee and 150 coming in. A 3-wood to me just gives me less confidence in my dispersion. I've done quite well hitting that 2 hybrid, so we'll see what changes Max makes, and maybe he'll convince me to put one in the bag, but so far I'm leaning not. Today's video is brought to you by the New 9 Golf Club. I just launched my own apparel, so there's hoodies, t-shirts, hats, golf shirts, golf gloves, golf tees. It would mean a lot to me if you check out my website, new9golf.com. If you want to support us, I will put a discount code for you guys watching this video in the description of this video. Check it out, worldwide shipping, New 9 Golf Club.
Okay, so I'm gonna try something different here. I'm gonna keep it a little bit of a secret what it is.
Okay.
And it's just a hunch of mine.
I can't believe how high that goes for a 3-wood. Or 4-wood, or whatever wood you're telling me this is. I didn't even look at it. I kind of smothered that one.
And what is it that you think is different here?
The head looks smaller.
Okay.
True or false?
True. Okay, I'm gonna make one more tweak here. How do you feel about the smaller head?
I guess if you told me I was giving you a smaller wood head, I would think it's more intimidating, but it almost looks more like my hybrid. So maybe it's a bit more of a familiar look.
A familiar look, okay.
Yeah, I can see all the face. I can see the lines on the club right from the sole to the face, which feels less intimidating.
A little bit on this side.
I was supposed to stripe it after talking it up like that. Like that.
That's awesome there.
Like that, baby.
Beauty.
Sorry. Getting loud for these members. Fuck off.
Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna steal that from you. So that there was an overlength 5-wood option, trying to see if we gave him a smaller head to feel a little bit more like his hybrid, if we might be able to see a little bit more speed, if we had a little bit more forgiveness there. But just with the extra length in that fairway style head, well, we did see a bunch more speed. The dispersion came up a little looser than the hybrid that he's so comfortable with. So I'm gonna try something a little shorter now as kind of one more try at a fairway wood, but so far it's looking like that hybrid is the best option for him.
2 or 3?
I like the 2 so far.
So we're back to a hybrid. Have I already hit this setup?
No.
No? This is new, okay. I really prefer the feel and the sound of this head, the TSR2 line.
The TSR2 line, yeah, definitely. So here's what I'm seeing. We're seeing that 5-wood come out with more ball speed, and we're seeing more height easier. Now, the 5-wood is a little bit longer,
right,
which is where that extra speed's coming from. It's also a little bit bigger in the head compared to the hybrid, so there's a little bit more forgiveness there. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to, do you want it to go further? And if so, are you going to feel more confident with the 5-wood head, or are you going to feel more confident with the hybrid head?
Right, so we're thinking of replacing the hybrid with a 5-wood.
Yeah.
I would still lean towards the hybrid.
Okay.
Because honestly, like in my bag, that's the best club in my bag.
Yeah.
I think I'd be crazy to take that out of my bag.
Yeah.
But noticing improvements, even just between this hybrid and that hybrid.
This hybrid and that hybrid,
It's been obvious that I'm getting better results.
Dispersion is really good there. We're picking up some speed as well now. So I really like the way this is set up here.
Okay.
Okay.
What are we thinking for gapping below this?
So that's where we're going next.
Okay.
So gapping wise, with this hybrid here, we've got about 153 ball speed on a good one. And in the 5-iron, we had, I think it was 135 ball speed we talked about. Yeah, 135. So we got 153 to 135. So we're going to look for 135 to 141 to 147 to 153.
A couple clubs that I have in my bag right now, my 4-iron and my 3-iron, I'm not super confident with. When I did my iron fitting with Max, I couldn't hit my 4-iron worth shit, and I couldn't hit his 4-iron worth shit, to be honest. So I think Max is gonna look at either like a utility iron and then another hybrid to replace my 3-iron, or we'll look at a couple different combos. But I don't think we like the idea of getting the T100 or the T200 4-iron with the shaft I was fit into. It's just not a club that I'm confident looking at, and I don't hit it that often. So I think Max can find me some replacements for both of those clubs. So this is a 4 hybrid. Okay. So we're back again to the TSR2, still X stiff, but a 4.
Nice one there. So as we move into this kind of 3-iron replacement here, we know you've already got your fairway finder in that 2 hybrid, or the 18 degree. So is this something that you're going to play more as a par 5 attack club or a long par 3 club, or is this still something that's mostly a fairway finder?
No, that would be into par 5s and long par 3s.
Okay.
That's usually the only time I hit my 4-iron. I guess off the tee box as well.
Okay. What about the 3-iron?
3-iron, same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Off the tee, if I think the 2 hybrids too much club.
Okay. I'm gonna steal that from you. Make just a little tweak here. Anything feel different here?
Different? I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Is it heavier?
It is.
So why would you add weight to the previous one?
So just saw a couple that just looked a little quick, didn't quite get into the ball. So I just added a little bit of weight to the bottom, or a little bit to the head, particularly in the bottom of the club. So seeing if a little bit extra weight might improve that contact, make that more consistent, and also seeing if lowering that CG in the head might bring up the launch a little bit.
Cool. I love that I have the playability to work it both ways, because that's what I look for in a hybrid.
Yep. Okay. So if anything, like ball speed wise, we're pretty close to that window. A couple that came out a little hot, a couple that came out a little shy. So we're pretty close to that window on that 147 for the average good one. I've got this lofted at 22 degrees. And so for now, this is a pretty good setup, but we might talk about shaft options afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna move on from the 21 degree or 22 degree for now. He hit it pretty good, and it's really pretty close to that window we're looking for. The only thing is it's just coming out a touch low for coming into greens, which is really what he's looking for out of that. So we might talk about some shafts that he might be able to potentially try or order that would launch it a little bit higher, easier.
Guys, if you're new to the channel or it's your first time seeing one of my videos, or if you've seen a bunch of my videos and you just haven't subscribed yet, please do me a favor, smash subscribe. Welcome to the community.
So this guy here, I've now moved into a 5 hybrid option, or a 24 degree.
Okay.
I've got it at 24 degrees. We're gonna see this. I'm gonna compare this to a couple of utility options and see what works best for you.
Cool.
Okay. Okay, pretty good there.
It's definitely getting high in the air.
Yeah, I like that this one's coming out higher, easier.
Yeah.
Solid there. Okay, so that's a pretty good mix with this one. How do you feel about that one?
I feel good.
That felt good, good.
So that's going to replace the 4-iron.
That's a potential 4-iron replacement there, yeah.
So much easier to hit than a 4-iron.
Yeah.
I have some really nice Scotty Cameron hybrid covers at home that I'm not using that would look pretty good on the bag. So just going to have to add a few more head covers. No shame. I'd rather carry a hybrid than chunk my 4-iron when I need it.
Okay, so gonna try a 4-iron option again one more time.
Okay.
This is the T200 utility 4-iron. Just want to try one more time to see if something in that utility build 4-iron might be a little bit more forgiving than something like the straight inset 4-iron and then T100.
This reminds me right where we left off in our last iron fitting, that both of those were just garbage contact. So already the miss hits on those versus the miss hits on the hybrid, to me it feels like a no-brainer.
Yeah. I would completely agree. Right away those misses were coming out shorter than your 5-iron, and the worst miss with the hybrid still was substantially closer to your gap than the 5-iron.
Right. So this is now the U505, which is I don't think I've ever owned an iron that looks quite like this.
The U505 compared to the T200, we can see it's a much larger head, a little bit more like a hybrid build, but still an iron head that you might feel comfortable and confident with. A little bit easier to launch this one sometimes.
Cool.
Okay, we'll give that a try. Completely different ball flight there.
Totally. It's definitely easier to hit than that
The
T200.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to steal that from you. I'm definitely liking the look of that hybrid. We're still not seeing the ball speed we're looking for there.
Right.
And obviously we've seen a very strong comfort for you in the hybrids, and the ball flight there so much easier up in the air and hitting that window. It seems like a no-brainer.
Hybrids. Okay.
Okay.
I think had you told me 3 years ago that I'd have more than one hybrid in my bag, I probably would have laughed at myself. But now I just don't care. If it's going to lead to better ball flights, more consistent hits, and overall scoring better, like, I'm going with the hybrids all day.
So I've got one last thing I want to try for you. In some of the hybrids, we noticed, even though they were coming out higher than the iron easier, it was still coming out a little bit lower than we'd love to see coming into the green, right? So for some green stopping power, we'd like to see those landing angles come up over 40 degrees, and we were just seeing them a little shallow. So I'm going to try a couple of shaft options that I have in my utility irons, and we'll compare them to one of the shafts that worked pretty well in the hybrid, the Hazards Black, and see if they make a difference in the launch or dispersion for you.
Cool.
Okay. So we'll start here with that one. You hit this shaft in the hybrid, and so we'll give this as a baseline to compare against shaft to shaft.
Oops.
Alrighty, let's try this guy.
This shaft always makes me think of Hideki. The Tour AD graphite design.
Alrighty. How does that one feel compared to the Hazardous?
They both feel good.
Both feel good? Okay. Let's try this one.
Nothing has felt like that yet.
That was nice.
Wow.
Gotta like that one. Okay. Well, that looks pretty good.
This feels the best by a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
That's great. So this one is a little softer. Profile-wise, I did a little bit of digging on the design of yours, and your shaft and your hybrid that you're so confident with is designed with a stiff tip and then a soft midsection and then a firm handle, and that's kind of the way this one's designed too. So that makes a lot of sense.
Interesting. That does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so that wraps up another awesome fitting with Max from Titleist. Max, tell the people what you fit me into.
Yeah, so definitely Brandon gravitated heavily towards the TSR2 head. We took a look at the Fairway Wood versus the hybrid. Loving that hybrid. A little bit of comfort there, close to what you're used to, but more forgiving. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go with the 18-degree TSR2. I've got it lofted down to 17 degrees just to get that window a little bit so that it didn't rise up too much. In terms of the shaft, we tried that graphite design Tour AD IZ.
My new baby.
And it was spectacular. Launched it up really easy for you. Tremendous feel, and so we're going to do that one. We're going to go in 85 gram in the 18 degree and the 21 degree, and then we're going to move up into a 95 gram into the 24 degree. That way we don't make the weight lighter as we cut them down, make the club shorter.
Right.
Okay, so in the 21 degree TSR2, we're going to loft it up to 22 to get a little bit extra height coming into the green, make it a little easier to stop it on the greens coming into par 5s or long par 3s, and then we're going to shorten that 24 degree so that our gapping doesn't come out too close between the 22 degree and the 24 degree.
So cool. Okay. So I basically had 3 clubs to replace. So we got rid of my 4-iron with a hybrid, the 3-iron with a hybrid, and we're just upgrading my 2 hybrid. Yep. I'm a big fan of the Titleist Woods. I'm surprised that I landed in the TSR2. Like I told you, I thought it was more for like an average, mediocre golfer, but from a feel and a sound and performance perspective, it was the best club for me.
Absolutely.
Overall though, a great fitting experience. If you want to get fit by Max and you're Calgary local, you can do so by going on the Titleist website. Or if you're anywhere in North America, go to the Titleist website and you can find a fitter near you. Thank you so much, Max, for this fitting. Thanks you guys for watching. We'll check in with you guys next time.